Welcome to today's edition of the Anaglyph Jukebox. You never know what you'll find on the old jukebox. Let's press B31. Okay, we've got fractal 3D magic. Very few mathematicians become rock stars in their own field, much less well known by real people in the wider public sphere where it counts. There's Einstein, of course, Newton, sure, and a bit of a drop-off. But everyone has heard the word Mandelbrot, even if you didn't know Mandelbrot was a person's name. Maybe you just thought, Mandelbrot fractals, trippy computer graphics, man. I had a wall calendar of them in my dorm room when I pretended to go to college back in 1986. The Polish-born French-American mathematician Benoit Mandelbrot, who died in 2010, was a polymath and a math genius. He chose to explore the, quote, uncontrolled element in life, unquote. And thus, he coined the word fractal in 1975 and wrote a foundational paper in 1980 to describe an intricate-looking set of curves. Sounds simple, doesn't it? It quickly becomes very, very complex. But the computing power of 1975 was not up to the task of generating the mind-blowing imagery we see here today, and in 3D to boot. We had to wait for the technology to catch up with Benoit. These amazing fractal 3D images are all taken from the 2014 book Fractal 3D Magic, with an introduction by Clifford A. Pickover. Featured today are works by Duncan Champney, Alexei Osimpenkov, S. Rathinagiri, and Fernando Vallejo. They were all generated using Fractalworks, a program created by Duncan Champney. In addition to creating fractals, Fractalworks can also create a 3D height map from either iteration data or distance estimate data. Once a height value is assigned to each point, the resulting height map may be rendered on a 3D shape in OpenGL. Now we have fractals across the z-axis. A histogram of iteration counts can be used to assign colors to plots, generating intricate color schemes. Now we have fractals across the z-axis in trippy colors. The Mandelbrot set, or M set for short, is the best known fractal and one of the most beautiful mathematical objects known, according to David Darling, author of Gravity's Arc, the story of gravity from Aristotle to Einstein and beyond. Arthur C. Clarke said this: in principle, the Mandelbrot set could have been discovered as soon as men learned to count. But even if they never grew tired and never made a mistake, all the human beings who have ever existed would not have sufficed to do the elementary arithmetic required to produce a Mandelbrot set of quite modest magnification. So, in addition to developing paranoia and refusing to open the pod bay doors, please, computers can perform the massive and precise number crunching necessary to display these amazing images. So, what are these intricate-looking set of curves? The M set is produced by iteration or repetition of a very simple formula. Fractals often display self-similarity, with repeating patterns at various scales throughout an image. A fractal also exhibits similar structural details, no matter how much the edge of the object is magnified. Although finite in area, the M set has a boundary that is infinitely long and has a Hausdorff dimension of 2. For point of reference, the Anaglyph Jukebox has a Hausdorff dimension of 9. For the slow kids, we'll just quickly explain that Felix Hausdorff, a German founder of modern topology and a contributor to set theory, created the Hausdorff dimension, which gives a way of assigning a fractional dimension to a curve or shape. His abstract math was denounced as useless and un-German by the Nazi regime of his time, and in 1942, with a concentration camp in his future, he died by suicide with his wife and sister-in-law. Unfortunately, not everyone's story on the jukebox ends happily. It certainly seems a shame that Professor Hausdorff never got to see any of the incredibly complex and dimensional fractals we're enjoying right now. As a mathematician, I'm sure he would have been delighted to see these abstract equations rendered with such infinite precision.